On today's episode of Every Single Morning, we're just going to have this age old discussion that's currently going on TikTok as we speak. This unnecessary war between the genders of men and women. And we're going to have that discussion right here and right now. Are you ready for it? I suggest you do right here on Every Single Morning. Play. Sweet is a lie, the truth ain't in them. Shoot, I know it's been a while, but still. Welcome to Every Single Morning. I'm Tanja.
I'm O'Shea.
My gosh. And we just thank you so much for joining us today. We had to take a break, but I'm so glad that we're back now. So join us for the remainder of these episodes, because trust me, these are going to be juicy. And you're definitely going to want to share them. I know you do. So in the meantime, while you're here, stop shacking up with us. Subscribe, like, comment, and most of all, share. Let everybody know that ESM is back and we are here. So, well, since we didn't reach our goal for Valentine's Day, I decided to extend it because I still want to get to 5K. So I want to reach 5K by my birthday. How about that?
All righty.
So
what an awesome present.
That would be an awesome present. So for those who do not know, my birthday is April 2nd. So we would both love to reach 5,000 subscribers by April 2nd, which is my birthday. That would be nice. And we can't do it without you. So don't be a hoarder. Like, comment, most of all.
Don't be a hoarder, be a supporter.
Yes. Don't be a hoarder, be a supporter. I like that. Thank you. So, today's topic, we're talking about this ongoing battle between men and women on TikTok. And O'Shea and I have been on TikTok for a minute. And we have noticed that there are a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Mishandlings, as well as some miscommunications between the sexes. And we hear that women are this, women are that. The area that I want to specifically target are Black men and women, because that's what we mostly see on both of our timelines. So Black women are this, Black women are that. And then I also hear that Black men are this and Black men are that. And just this constant battle and constant war. And it doesn't need to be. So that's why we are naming this episode, We Are Not the Enemy. So it's not just the women. It's not just the men. It's the fact that we have a difficult time learning how to communicate with each other. And to make things worse, we want to put these stereotypes on each other because of misunderstandings and misappropriations, in my humble opinion. So that's why we want to discuss it today. So I'm, of course, going to go from the point of view of women, and O'Shea is going to go from the point of view of men. So here we go.
Okay.
So for the women, from what I've noticed when they talk about, black men are this and black men are that, the fact of the matter is, a lot of that criticism from men stems from the fact that women are too independent, women are too self-sufficient, women are too no, and I'm like I said, we're talking about black women here. I'm not talking about all women, and I'm talking about assumptions and misconceptions that are made. Um, we're also talking about the fact that some men feel, not all men, but some men feel that women are too bossy, especially black women, that we are too whatever. It's a lot of different misconceptions, and I can honestly say, as a black woman, um, this is the situation how I personally feel about this topic, and how I personally feel about why this is such an ongoing case. Um, in my humble opinion, the I truly feel, and notice I said I truly feel. These are not statistics. These are not. I'm not even. I want to say they're facts, but in order for me to say facts, I need proof. So I'm just using observance, observations. That's the best way to say it. Black women specifically are the most targeted women on social media. Um, we are also the most, never mind the fact that we are, according to some statistics, we are the most educated out of all of the um, all of the races of women. We are also one of the top rated groups as far as having our own businesses, small businesses. So, Black women in particular, we have a certain amount of standards for ourselves. Now, I can see why there may be some misconceptions, but I do believe that the women are being independent and are doing these things and are handling their own business, owning their own homes, creating their own jobs, and by having their own businesses and doing all of these things, raising their own children and stuff like that, is because they don't have the men in their lives to help them. And the the black women of yesteryear, we're talking about women prior to 1980, way beyond 1980. A lot of women, especially this generation, millennials, Gen Zs, they don't find marriage a necessity. They don't want to be tied down to anybody. They don't want to do these things. And the sad part about it is, if I may say it, a lot of this stems from the government. What do I mean by that? So glad you asked. This whole thing got started because when, after the civil rights movement and after the assassination of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and what have you, laws have been put into place after the Civil Rights Act of 1965 that by 1968 that they had provide support to those, welfare and stuff like that to those who are in need. Now, what many people don't seem to realize is that in order for woman, a single woman who have children, to have homes, to have to receive this money, um, they can't be living with a man, especially a man who is able-bodied and can work. So they find that there are a lot of single women, especially single Black women with children, who, are using this money as a form of help, getting these homes, getting these apartments, getting the food stamps, things of that nature. And if they do have a man, they have to keep it hidden to make sure that the government doesn't realize that they are there. And that was a seed that was planted on purpose to separate the families. So, and that has stemmed from that moment to generations on, that women have started becoming a lot more independent, a lot more self-sufficient, a lot more holding their own. And even though you have some women, not all, who says that they don't need a man, there are some of us that do. The problem is, because those of us who want a man, we carry a certain standard that the man should live up to. If that man doesn't live or have those standards, then defeats the purpose. We might as well be by ourselves, because there are like generations between Gen X, millennials, Gen Zs, what have you. They do not want to settle for anything less than what they're worth. So, meanwhile, either the man should step up to the plate and have those standards, or just still complain and find certain qualities of women that they don't have to make themselves better in order to get them, if that makes sense. So, in my opinion, I think this is why the women are acting the way they are. However, not all women deem men as trash. Not all of us do. Some men do come off that way. I mean, that I know. But just like we could say not all men are trash, I could say that not all women think all men are trash. So, but this constant war, it feels like it's intentional, especially online, to keep us separated and not come together as one. And we have to now come to a point that we need to put our differences aside, learn how to communicate with one another, tell each other our wants as well as our needs, and work cohesively to make that work. So now that's my take on the women. Your turn.
Well, I can't do this without slinging mud both ways.
All right.
First of all, let me deal with the men. First of all, with men, we have to understand that women are not the enemy. Sometimes it's just the women you choose.
That's true.
Because a woman can be your kryptonite if you don't get the right one. Just, yeah, I mean, you know, she could kill a turtle on a bright sunny day.
Oh God.
And I think this war is happening because we pleasured deflection. If I look at you, I don't have to look at me. Because if I say women are like this, well, I haven't dated all women. I haven't dated every woman in the world, unless for the sake of I be a man whore. And,
We don't want you to be a man whore.
and I have dated every woman in the world. Then I could make that generality and say all women are this, until you have dated all men or women, you can't say that. But the thing that you can say is what we don't want to say is that the man or the woman or the women that I date or that I have been introduced to or this and that, then the question becomes, what's wrong with you?
True.
What's wrong with you? And that's where we don't want to look. Why do I keep choosing this type of man? Why do I keep choosing this type of woman? Because, we'll get the good girl, the woman that does this and the woman that does that. And we say, well, what about her? Well, she's like a sister to me. Yeah, but the one that's wants you to buy her the moon, the stars, and everything else, and want to break your pockets, that's the one you go for. Because do you are and then when she done broke you, now you mad. She was my downfall. But you chose her based on her need of you. Because the woman that got her own, you wouldn't choose her. You felt threatened by her. So what's wrong with you? You felt a certain way about her. You see what I'm saying? So what's wrong with you? And we want to say, well, women are this. No, the women you choose. Well, she hurt me. She cheated on me. She did this and she did that. Did you date her long enough to find out her values? Or were you horny? And so what you did,
These are facts.
and what you did was you looked at the print through her pants and you was like, yeah, low hanging fruit. And because the sex was good. Because, see, and then once the sex wore off, you ended up with the person. And you want to say women are the enemy. No, the one you chose. The one you chose was the enemy. And then and then let's look at why most men choose women. You chose her based on your homeboy.
Wow. We gonna go there. Okay.
Who don't have a successful relationship. Wouldn't know a good woman if it hit him in the face on a clear sunny day. Because you value what your circle says. Oh, she's valid. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. And if they don't approve, you get rid of her. Doesn't matter how she treats you. Doesn't matter this or that. It's just, oh, well, my homeboys ain't. Then who you choosing for? Are you choosing for you or are you choosing for them? So the reason why you think she is the enemy, you have to first examine, why do you think she's the enemy? Is it because that's what your boys told you? Because they took their pain and passed it to you?
Mm. Mm.
Well, that's what my daddy said. Your daddy was in pain over your mama. So, and now you have this view because you won't step out of your culture to see what it really is. Out of your, and when I say culture, I'm saying the stereotypes of what black black men are around. I need to have a different train of thought. I need to think differently. Maybe I don't need to listen to my dad who's on his third marriage or have never been married. Maybe I don't need to listen to, yeah, because all the women he chooses are his, because the good ones that he has, he doesn't treat them well. And then let's, with me, I'm gonna go biblical with it. What is the purpose and the intent of a woman? The purpose and the intent of a woman is to be a helpmeet. But what happens when she's behind a man that does not have ambition, that does not have dreams, that does not have goals? She has nothing to help him do. So she gets frustrated because she's called to help, but there's nothing to help. And what men have to realize is that she's called to help, not carry.
True.
There's a difference in helping you and carrying you. She is not your mama.
Very true. Very, very true.
She is not your mama. And even after a certain age, your mama drops you.
That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time.
And so the because I see it from men when they talk about women are the enemy, they're basically saying because she won't carry me, because she won't this, because she won't that, she won't take care of me. She's not supposed to. She's not supposed to. She's supposed to help you. And then let's talk about our egos when she wants to offer her help. She doesn't know how to help you without emasculating you. Because a lot of relationships have to get into this competition thing. You get into this competition thing. So she's trying to complete you, but you trying to compete with her.
Mm. Preach on that one. Preach on that one.
Oh my God.
Mm,
You
mm,
he's trying to complete you, and you trying to compete with her.
mm.
And complete and compete are not the same thing.
No, they're not.
Because she sees your weaknesses. She sees where you don't measure up. And she says, good. Not that your weaknesses. And let me jump over to the women real quick. Be careful what you do with his weaknesses. Because this is why Tanja was saying about communication. Because here's the thing. Women don't know what to do with a man's weakness. You see a weakness in him and you say, ooh, I gotta go tell my girlfriend, or ooh, I gotta tell my mom, or ooh, I gotta tell this one. No. As the woman that's gonna choose to stand by his side, his weakness is your assignment. Because remember, you're the helpmeet. And your mama or your girlfriends will tell you, nah, he should have that together. Then if he has everything together, you have nothing to help him with. And so here's the thing. With the conversations that we have, women are not the enemy. They are the complete. They are the complete side of us. They are the ones that are called to complete us. Women are not the enemy. They're our blessing. Because we can be crying out to God, God, I need help. God, there's so much pressure on me. God, there's so much this on me. God, there's so much that on me. And God says, I gave you help. And so what I did was I gave you tools you're not using. And they're over here in your woman. If you chose the right one. If you chose the right one. But because you have to appear strong, and let me jump back over here to the men. You have to appear strong. You won't let her know what your weaknesses are. So she doesn't know where she fits. And then you wonder why she's frustrated with the relationship. Because I don't know. I spend my day wondering, why am I here? Why am I here? Because he appears strong. I don't need a woman. Or I got this. I got the house. I got the this. I got the this. If he has everything, why am I here? Why am I here? And the same thing, men are saying the same thing. When the woman says, well, I don't need a man. And I'm called to be your provider. I'm called to help you. I'm called to do this for you. And you keep saying you don't need a man and wonder why I don't stay. There is no assignment for me. I'm going to come where there's an assignment. There's an assignment for me to do. You complete me. But then, because men sometimes, and women can be, sometimes when we get into argument, we turn the weaknesses, we turn the conversations that we have into weapons that we're later going to use against you in the argument. That now we're yeah. Now the man and the woman are afraid to talk to each other. Because I don't want to give you any ammo for your argument. You see what I'm saying? And so we're afraid to talk to each other, and we see each other as the enemy because we both don't know why are you using this information, because there could be a lot of reasons why you will use what I tell you. You either gonna use it in the argument, or you gonna tell your mama, you gonna tell this one or that one. And I can't trust that my heart is safe with you. I can't trust that my heart is safe with you. I know my genitals will be warm, but I don't know about
Wow. It's like that. Okay.
I that's why I'd rather sleep with you but not talk to you.
Wow.
I'd rather sleep with you and not talk to you because I don't know where it's gonna go. But it's the same thing for the woman. I don't know whether you're gonna use this for your boys to get cool points with your boys. She told me, and oh man, she ain't nothing, and now all of a sudden, something I told you in confidence, everybody know, and it's a thing on your guys' group chat, something that's about me.
Or what about when he brags about you being good in bed,
Yeah,
and then you have your friends wanting to try you out behind your back?
yeah. And then, but let's sling mud over both ways because women do the same thing. Well, so or either he's not that good, great. You know, I could have had a V8. Um, I'd rather just go to Baskin Robbins and get me an ice cream, rather.
That's crazy.
But um, you know, using that, using all of those tools, or are you going to post that on social media? Because social media, I'm not going to say social media is the enemy. I'm going to say what we do on social media is the enemy to our relationships with men and women. Because everybody say, Facebook is the devil. Facebook. No, Facebook is just a site.
Right.
What you choose to do with it is the devil. See, we don't want to deal with because I preach on Facebook every day, and it's not the devil. But when I take a private moment that my woman shares with me and share it with the world, and then now I give the world free fall to comment on what should have been between me and my woman, now that's the enemy. What did Mark do to me? Mark didn't make me share it. And I better get paid, Mark, for this.
I love that. Before you continue, I do have a question though. Now, you just said a while ago that women are to help complete the man. Isn't it true though that we should come in as completed as possible when we
Well,
enter into a relationship?
you shouldn't come in thirsty. Thirsty and complete is
Well, notice I didn't say complete, but as complete, because um, the whole purpose of marriage, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole purpose of marriage is to take two beings, two completely different point of views, and mesh them into one once we say I do,
mm,
correct?
mm.
So we have these two individuals who have come from two totally different worlds or lifestyles or whatever to come and mesh as one and learn how to conform with each other in all areas. So so my question is, even though, as you said, that the woman is to help me and our responsibility to our husband, not to our man, but to our husband, is to.
But here's the thing: if you don't start as his woman, he won't ever see you as a wife.
But isn't she supposed to see you as a wife, potential wife in the beginning, though?
Men are stimulated by sight. And if we don't see the qualities, if we don't see, that's the thing I have with relationship coaches and things that say that. Well, you don't do wifely duties until he makes you a wife and blah 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 blah. He's not gonna do what he don't see.
At this very moment, you are completely destroying everybody's concept of courtship. You do realize that, right?
I am not popular. Okay, the only thing I will say is the only thing that the woman should not be doing, and that is having sex. You should not give your body or put yourself into situations where that is a possibility. You see what I'm saying? But a man is not going to do what he does not see. Because let's go back to the word with it. Because what did God do with Adam? He did with Adam in the garden. He put every animal, everything in front of Adam and said, what do you call this? What do you call this? And he called it as he saw it. That's a giraffe. So you give me nothing to see. If I don't see that quality in you, if I don't see, man, she does this, man, that's wifey material right there. Or man, that's traits of a wife. Then if I don't see it, I'm not gonna do it. Because remember, as a man, I'm stimulated. Everything comes to me by sight. I do. What do you say?
Okay, I'm just where I am right now is the fact that I have to say this. Where I am right now, it's like we can't be thirsty, we can't be needy, but we should do all of these things for the man except having sex. But what has he done to earn us doing these things? So
that's the thing. But see, that it's not just y'all do these things. He has to do these things too. Because I'm not going to accept nothing less than a husband. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I ain't, because I teach women this, and you and your sister know this. I teach women this. You don't chase a man. You don't, go looking for one. You ain't thirsty. You ain't out there. You ain't. But you get to choose who you say yes to. And if he doesn't show you the qualities of a husband, it's a no for me.
Yeah, you do say that.
It's a no. Because first of all, the man is to provide for the household. The man is to provide for the household. So if we go out to dinner and you conveniently forget your checkbook, and I always got to pay and I always got to do it, how can you provide for me? And so why won't you marry me? Because I don't see husband yet.
All I see is a bill.
Yeah, I don't see husband yet. But we have women who will take care of boyfriends and he ain't showed you husband. Because okay, you say, well, women's supposed to do all this for the man. You just told them that they're supposed to. So what are you saying? Okay. He he should be getting up, going to work. Going to work. He should be asking you because he's a husband. He keeps things together. When he becomes your husband, he is going to protect the family. He is the band around the family. So does he protect you? And the first thing he would protect is your virginity.
Now you know. People ain't ready to have that conversation, you know.
I'm just saying because this is how we can untangle this enemy thing. Because the reason why we look at men and women the way we do is because we a lot of times we start off with sex and we start taking care of each other and we haven't showed qualities of you even being deserving of that. Because I'm as the wife or as the woman, you could do what you're gonna do as a help me, okay? But then if he's not getting up going to work, he doesn't provide you any security. If he's not getting up and making sure you're protected and knowing that you want to knowing that one of the things that you treasure the most is your virginity or your waiting
Abstinence.
to yeah, you want to wait until marriage or whatever. He's not protecting that, then he hasn't showed you how he can protect you. He does not pull out chairs. He does not open car doors. All of those are entry points where if you were if you were to get attacked, he would be the first one to deal with it. But if you got to pull out your own car door and he's sitting over there on the other, how can you protect me? So you have to show husband stuff. It ain't just she need to do. You need to do your part. And y'all both seeing the qualities in each other. And y'all saying, what are we waiting on? We already know this is what it is. I'm going to do what I can to help you. I see that you're going to do whatever you can to make my heart feel safe. I know you're going to do whatever you can to protect the things that I hold sacred and dear to me. What are we waiting for? I know first and foremost, you love him. You love God. And I know that if I have an issue with anything that you do as a leader, I could talk to God. Anything or anything that she does as a help me, I could talk to God and he will deal with it. But we have women and men who do all of this stuff before marriage. They do all of this stuff and don't understand how to do it in the courtship. And then they mad because I've done all that stuff and I'm not even gonna marry him. And that's where women are this, women are that. Because I guarantee you, if we talk about it and we do it, and I talk to a man one on one, there was somewhere where you wasn't showing up as a husband. There was somewhere where you weren't showing up as a husband that made her make a decision, and now you see her as the enemy, and it's vice versa. There was somewhere where you wasn't showing up as the helpmeet, and he saw you as the enemy. But when we're both doing things God's way and not seeking our own, we're too busy trying to complete each other to fight with each other.
Okay. And I'm listening to you and I'm hearing all that. It's just the part that I'm just still trying to process. I'm still trying to process it, and we're like 47 minutes into this program. Is the fact that I was always told that you should at least come complete, but
and you should. No, see, let me help you with that. You should. And when we say, well, when people say complete, it doesn't mean like you don't need anything or you don't need. It's you shouldn't come broken. You should, as we've been learning in our singles class, you should come complete in Christ, knowing that you're complete with or without a man. You're not broken. Because the way they teach singleness in the church, well, the way they teach marriage in the church is there's a broken part of you. There's a missing part of you until you get married. No, I'm complete in Christ. I have everything I need in Christ. But do I have an assignment? Do I have a place waiting for my husband? Yeah.
Okay, I can register that a little better.
So that's why I'm glad you told me where you were stuck at, because I'm complete. Because a lot of people, I'm just, broken. Because see, a lot of women and a lot of men, they come into the relationship broken. You got to clean up what Keisha did to me. You got to clean up what, Randall did to me. You got to clean up what Tanisha did to me. You got to clean. And I shouldn't have to spend our whole relationship cleaning up your past relationships.
Which is the reason why there's this constant battle going on, because of these broken people that has yet to be healed, or dare I say, want to be healed. Because let's face it, there are some men as well as some women who benefits from being victims than they do victors, because of the simple fact that they find more benefit to being broken and pointing the finger at others rather than taking the responsibility of the decisions that they have made, own it, deal with it, and move forward. So, I mean,
yeah. But then, too, the longer you stay in brokenness, the longer you stay in loneliness.
Gosh darn it. That's the quote of the episode right there. Say that again for those in the front, the back, the middle, and the side.
The longer you stay in brokenness, the longer you stay in lonely. Because notice brokenness and lonely goes to different things. It goes hand in hand because nobody wants to be around nobody broken.
No, they don't.
Except pastors, but that's all.
Lord.
That's a whole
full
nother show.
advantage of that, but I digress.
Huh?
And take full advantage of that, but I digress.
That's a whole nother show, y'all.
Whole nother show.
But yeah, nobody will be around nobody broken. And that's like you said, that's the whole reason for the war. Because we won't stay with God long enough to get healed. First of all, it takes years for us to even admit that we're broken.
There you go. Because some people swear that there's nothing going wrong with them.
And it doesn't, and it takes years also for us to admit that I'm at a place in my life right now that I don't need anybody. Not just a man or a woman. I don't need anybody right now but Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so broken that if he sent me somebody right now, I would break her too.
That's true.
And I understand that you love me. I understand all this stuff, but I'm broke. And I'm not done with my last 7 relationships. Because any one of them, if they came back, they could still get it. So there's another thing that we have to fix too. And it's one thing that I always teach y'all in the church is that, are you emotionally done? I know the relationship is over. I know your closeness is over, but are you emotionally done? Because Chinky said every time I try to leave, something keeps
pulling me back.
Telling me I need you in my life. And that's a soul tie, Chinky.
That's a soul tie. That needs to die by fire.
But, but it's true. Can they pull you back like that? And if they can, you need to stay single until you figure that out. Until you get healed, till you get delivered. And I love you as a sister in Christ. I love you and will be here for you during the hours of 9.
You know what?
Yeah, and I'm gonna treat you like a good parishioner. But as far as a relationship, it's over. Because one of the hardest things that I had to teach in the church is this, that even your exes, you can't just dismiss them. Because I say you can't just dismiss them and let them go because they're souls too. And as a pastor, you may not be obligated to the person, but as a pastor, you're always obligated to the soul.
Yes, you have taught us that. That you have.
And so,
that was a hard one, but it was a lesson to be learned nonetheless.
And so that's a lesson because I know it's more than just, it ain't just the secular people fighting. Some of us, who name the name of Christ is fighting too. Are you doing it God's way? And
And
these
are
are
you
just a lot of
emotionally
things.
done?
Are you emotionally done? Matter of fact, if you still asking your counselor that counseled both of y'all how they doing, and you still trying to ask information about them, you ain't done. Go somewhere and sit down. Madison Square Garden and have several seats. Um, because when you're done is when you're done, it's nothing they can do to pull you back into that type of relationship. That type of relationship again. Because I'm not bothered. I'm not none of that. I'm just done. Because I know what it is now. And so we have, and to end my comments, we have to just really, like you said, have the conversation, have these conversations, talk to one another, and face up to some stuff that we don't want to face up to. That a lot of times the enemy is me. The enemy is enemy because the inner me keeps choosing you, who I think is the enemy.
For some people, that just went right here. It just went right here.
So the enemy is in me, not in the woman. It's right here. And because I won't deal with the enemy in me, I now see you through the eyes of the enemy, which is me.
Hmm. I hope
So,
those of you who are watching got it.
so
So,
that ends my comments.
all righty. So, in conclusion, communication is key, and we need to be honest with our communication about one another, both as men and women,
And your feelings.
and your feelings, because a lot of these issues stems from hurt, um, miscommunications, and assumptions.
And traces of slavery, but
Now, this is true too.
but that's a whole nother show. We'll talk about this.
Another show. But yeah,
Hmm.
if we actually learn to take the time to not just talk to each other, but actually listen, because that's another problem too. We don't want to listen. We just want to talk and like to hear ourselves talk. So if we actually listen to what each other has to say and try to come up with a mature resolution,
Mhm.
our conversations and our communications as men and women would be a lot better off. And we could actually get along. Even if we choose to maturely agree to disagree, if we can just get to that point instead of constantly fighting for what's right rather than for peace, we would all be a lot better off. Just saying.
Yeah.
On that note, Shay, tell them where they can find you.
Well, y'all can find me at everything at the top, but let me show y'all a thing or two because I told y'all before we ended the last season, I told you that I was going to do a link tree, and so I did one, and you can find me at everything on my link tree that I have somewhere here that I did. Let me go back into something else. You can
It's
find
right
me.
here.
Yeah, I wasn't reading. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, you can find
This
me
link will
everywhere
be
there.
in the description below.
Yeah, you can find me everything there because I told you I was gonna do a link tree to make it easier to do to find me because Tanja was styling and profiling with her. So I was like, I need to go ahead and just do and simplify my life. Just, but yeah, my TikTok, everything, all of that, and how you can give and support our church if you love our church. All of that stuff is on there. So
You're gonna talk about your
Tanja,
upcoming shows too?
huh?
You're gonna talk about your upcoming shows too?
Um, yeah, my clubhouse shows. It's my O'Shea's social clubhouse. I'm currently finishing up because I'm on 94 of 100 days of motivation, which you will see when you go on the channel that it's not actually 100 consecutive days. It's 100 days whenever. Um, you know, hopefully, now I have a goal. Hopefully, I can finish my 100 days by March 2nd. Okay. If I don't, then Tanja will be right. It has taken me 2 years to do 100 days.
Well, by the time this episode airs, it will be in March. So hopefully you will be finished with the entire series by the time this show airs.
Yes. 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 Hopefully I will. Um, yes. Y'all pray for me. But even if I don't, at least all of my days were meaningful.
Yes, they were, and very, very profound and powerful at that.
Time to tell them where they can find you.
Well, you can see my handles on the bottom of the screen, like so. And for my website and my podcasts and everything else, you can find it on my link tree,
Look
which
at us.
and both link trees will be linked in the description box below. So all you have to do is just click and go to it.
All right.
So, with that being said, this has been a chock full episode.
Yes.
So, as we always say, we will see you when we see you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.